All right, phenomenal morning, everybody. How you doing? My name is Junior Frederick, and I am just a young man from the islands on a mission to help leaders build brands. We have a phenomenal show for you today. If you're just listening in, two things: put some flames in the chat, and also let us know where you're calling in from. I have with me the man himself, the king of branding and positioning, Mr. Shaan Rais. Shaan, how's New York?
Oh, brother, it can be cold sometimes, brother. It can be cold. You know, it can be cold hearted as well as the weather sometimes. Let me chew this in a little bit more. There we go. There we go. Yeah, yeah. It can be pretty brisk sometimes. You know, brisk, when you walk past people, you feel the cold. That's something I always liked about New York. It can be summer. It can be summer, 91, 98, 99, 105 degrees. It can still be cold sometimes, right? So it depends. It depends on how your affect is. What you've done lately will dictate the weather. How about that? Your brand will dictate the weather in New York.
Let me tell you, when I went to New York, it was the first time. So I didn't understand like this concept, right? I was on my way to the movies in Manhattan. I was riding on the back of a taxi. It was so hot. I had never seen anything like that in my life. But the AC was on, and the AC was hotter than outside.
Oh yeah.
First time I ever experienced that.
Yeah, yeah. In New York, you'll see the microwaves, right?
Yeah.
You'll see the microwaves. It'll look like the ground is frying, like the air is frying. That's something that I remember from being very young. It'll be hazy. You feel the microwaves and you'll be able to see them.
Yeah, but it's really nice though. I could still remember just I used to go out every single day. Just take a walk, and I remember going into all the clothing stores, walking in, hearing the music playing. It's an amazing environment, to be honest.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's jambalaya. For anyone who knows what jambalaya is, it's like jambalaya. It's a hodgepodge of a lot of it's an eclectic collection of cultures, disciplines, beliefs, languages, food, nationalities. It's huge. It's huge, and it's a jambalaya.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So I want to say good morning to everybody listening. If you just coming in, put some flames in the comments. Also, let us know where you're listening in from. I see we have Jasmine. Jasmine, phenomenal morning to you. So
She said
Shaan,
something actually. She said something about the subways. She said the subways stay burning up too. Yeah, yeah. If you're in the subway in the state of New York, that's a sign. That's an indication. It's time to get busy.
let's not even get into that. Um, I've been in the subway. I've seen so much stuff there.
Oh man.
It's just amazing. It's fascinating, to be honest. It's really fascinating. Like for an outsider, maybe normal to all of you looking, but for me, it's like a whole different world.
Like a different planet, right?
Like it's like, yeah, it's like I don't even know how to explain it, Shan. It's completely different kind of world. It's almost like being a kid again.
Mhm.
Imagine that being a kid. It's almost like everything you see. It's like, wow, what is that? Wow, that's like, when you were fascinated by everything as a child.
Yep,
Like, what is that?
definitely.
What is that? So that's sort of how I felt going there,
Let me
Just
ask
see.
you a question. When you came to New York, was it the era where we had the graffiti on the trains, on the inside of the trains, or was it the graffiti on the outside of the trains, or was there any graffiti anymore?
Oh
That'll
yeah,
tell me when you came.
I came. I came 2008.
No, no, I didn't ask for the year, sir. I
Okay.
asked, was the graffiti on the okay? So you said 2008, there was no graffiti.
Okay.
I can tell you, you missed that era. So there was an era, guys, when the state of New York trains had real graffiti artwork on the outside. So I'm talking about pieces,
Uh-huh.
murals, big names, Dobie, right? Big names on the outside of the trains, what we call pieces, right?
Uh-huh.
Crack, Dobie, and then on the inside, everybody got the chance to put their signature, their tag name up. You
Uh-huh.
couldn't even see the colors of the trains because of the pieces. It was phenomenal. I'm talking about on the ceiling of the train. It
Yeah,
was
I
an
remember
artist boot camp.
I remember very few of that. Very they will
Oh
put
no, it didn't exist when you came. When you came, you might have saw a sticker with a name on it.
no, not on the train though. Not on the train. They were
Of course not.
like a wall, like particular
Yeah.
walls.
Let me tell you guys, right? The first time I saw the inside, now, granted, I'm just a kid from Harlem who God chose to show his favor and mercy through, right? But I'll say this. The first time I saw the back of a police car, it was because of those cans of Krylon. That's all I'll say. If you get it, you get it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you missed an era. There we go. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Hold on. It's almost time for a commercial. You got me nostalgic.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Listen, guys, I want to say good morning to you. Everybody who's here right now, you could have been anywhere else, but you're here and you're here for your personal and professional development. Listen, we have an amazing show for you. Today, we're about to go to a break.
Hold on. Before you go to a break, I want to give somebody $100. Put in the chat what a can of Krylon is when we come back. $100. I'm gonna send it out to somebody today.
Wow.
Can
Guys,
of Krylon. What is that? Let's go.
he's
Mr. B,
serious.
take us away.
Let's go. What is up, guys? We are back. Let's see who got the answer. Let's see. Shan, I see we have a couple. Hold on.
Jackie Gilchrist.
Jackie got it?
Jackie Gilchrist got it. Intuitive Tie was a close second. Intuitive Tie was a close second at 808, but Jackie got up in there and she spelled it correctly. Let's go. Nope, we got you, Jackie. And she spelled it correctly. So with the Krylon with the K, I promise you that's where they got the term Crayola from. Krylon with the K. All right, guys. So that's the $100 question. Listen, I think we might begin $100 question every time we come up here, right? So every month, at least $200 a month. I'm going to give away $100 on one of the calls, on two of the calls. So if you guys are on the calls, you don't know when it's going to come, but I'm going to have a $100 question at least twice during every month. So Jackie, you won the first one. You won the first one. So we're going to send her something, get her Cash App or whatever. You know how we do that. Let's grow.
Jackie, congratulations to you.
First. One of one.
That's right. One of one. That's pretty exciting. So Shaan, what has you in this giving mood, man? Like,
well, brother, it's branding, brother. And a lot of people don't know what we do, right? So we give more than we receive all the time. We're the brand that gave away 10K in the midst of the pandemic, in the very beginning of it, and when I say 10K, I mean that, and what we give with the money can lead to a limitless roof. So we have a couple people who came into the community on a gift, on a what was it? We ran a raffle, we spun a wheel and brought someone in, and they've gone on to make countless tens of thousands of dollars, right? So you want to follow the brand. You want to really kind of stick close to what we do, wherever we do it, because I'm all about giving back. I'm all about giving back. I'm all about service, and I'm all about selflessness. So definitely. Wait for it. The blessings are coming. I promise you. The blessings are coming. They're already here. Sometimes people don't understand the value of free.
True.
So sometimes you got to make it rain because they don't understand the value of free. But when the dollars start dropping, I remember in the projects when I was young, man, the good old guys would throw money from the roof. I mean, from the tops of the buildings, right? And there was always people who gave back, like they would have cookouts. I'm talking about people who was poor, man. I think it comes from back in the days with Frank Lucas and people giving out turkeys on Thanksgiving, like the real hood, the good hood, the people who was good and took care of the hood. Like, we got turkeys on Thanksgiving, we got Christmas. They would see somebody going to school with sneakers, with holes in their sneakers, and take them to, there was polo stores and whatnot, Nautica stores up around Broadway. So they would take them out and they'd buy them sneakers, man. Kids would come home completely dipped and fresh because of what the people in the neighborhood did, So when people give, you got to give back. You got to take care of people.
Yeah, 100%. So Jackie, congratulations to you guys. Like I said, you never know when it's coming. So just make sure you're here. Nice. So again, before we get to the questions, I want to say good morning to everybody looking. Shaan, so my first question is this, right? It is officially 1 week since we've launched Speaking Like a Leader.
Yes, it is.
I've seen many people develop the skill of speaking, right? I've seen many people go live.
In just 1 week, right?
Yeah, I've seen many people. And it's not even so much about just speaking, it's about the confidence.
That's right.
Transformation. So what have you seen from your vantage point? Like, what do you see happening with the people who are in the program right now?
Energy, morale, engagement, transformation. Energy, morale, engagement, and transformation. I don't know if that's an acronym or if we can make a word out of that, right? At the moment, but I've seen the energy, high levels of energy, high levels of expectation. People are going live who never went live before. People are. So what we did in the very beginning was we gave them a cliffhanger, a charismatic cliffhanger opening. And it was actually used on stage by one of the clients already. already. And it's on YouTube, and they got nothing but screams and applause from the audience when they implemented what we taught the day after we taught it, right? So this is the place for immediate results, guys. So that's what I've seen. I've seen energy shoot through the roof. I've seen morale, right? So I've seen people keep that level of energy. Yesterday, you guys were on a call that should have been an hour. It turned into 2 hours, and it could have gone longer because of the level of morale, just the good feeling, the good energy, and then the engagement. We were on Clubhouse last night. I'm not sure how long you guys stayed after I left. I had something else to do, but from the hours of 7 to 8 EST, it was high level. We had a lot of people. Everybody is really, really feeling the energy, the engagement is high, and then the transformation. So many people came in not knowing their voice, not knowing if they could do it. One woman said that she never saw herself as a speaker because she didn't know who she would have to show up as. She couldn't think of who she would have to show up and present as to be the headlining presentation of a speaking event, or the keynote speaker. She didn't know who she would have to be, what cape she would have to put on, what costume she would have to put on. And when I shattered that myth and said, you don't have to put on a costume, you just need to show up as who you are, she said, I'm not quoting it, but she said, I don't believe that I can make tons of money by being me, by showing up as myself. And I had to say, that's the only way you're going to make a ton of money, and it be sustainable, is by showing up as yourself consistently. When you show up as someone else, it's short-lived. When you hear the horror stories about money and people who money destroys, the horror stories come from people trying to put on a facade, trying to act like someone else, being uncomfortable in their skin, right? It's an act, guys. It's not real. And then to keep up the facade, sometimes that's where the drugs come in and the alcohol comes in and all kinds of stuff comes in, right? So I'm not just teaching how to speak. I'm teaching a better way to live and how to create an income, one revenue stream that will lead to many revenue streams through understanding the business of speaking.
That was super powerful. That was super powerful, guys. If you're not following the Clubhouse, just go to Clubhouse, type in "branded like a leader," and just follow the club. So
And if you hold on, I'm sorry, I got to say this. If you are so inclined and you are like engaged and you want more, Speaking Like a Leader is 1 week in. So don't wait. Don't wait till we 4 weeks in and you start seeing people make money and talk about the money they're making and the gigs that they're getting, and then say, oh, how do I jump in? Jump in now. The water's warm.
Very true. Very true. Guys, if you're just coming in, I want to say welcome. Phenomenal morning to you. Please don't forget to put it in the chat where you're listening in from. That's very important. Like, we're an international brand, and we wanna know where you are on the planet. We wanna know where you are. Shaan, I have a question. My question is about personal development. So, first of all, like, how important do you feel like personal development is, and how does that relate to business development and brand development?
You can't develop a business without personal development. I'll say this: personal business development. Let's go into this. Let's reverse engineer it. Brand development depends on business development. It is contingent upon business development. If your business is not developed, you'll never have a brand. Forget about it. But you can have brand development once you understand the nuances of business development, right? Successful brand. So everybody's building a brand right now. If you can, look at your face, like look at yourself in the mirror, take your phone, turn it around, look at yourself. You're creating a brand now. But you might not have the results you want. You might not have the money that you want. You might not have the following that you want. You might not have the people that you're trying to get, the amount of customers, clients, community. You don't have those because you don't understand business development. Very key point. Your business development will be contingent upon your professional development. How are you with time management? How are you with managing money? How are you with managing your affect, which is your attitude, the way you speak to people? How are you with managing your sleeping habits? Like, those things are professional development. How well do you organize your day? How do you balance? They say work-life balance. How do you balance or integrate the multifaceted areas of your life? What does that look like? That's professional. You have to be a professional. So this is why, school prepares one for business, because you have to manage more than you did before about yourself. You have to learn how to manage your time, your homework, your study time. That's professional development. It's preparing you for the business world. Now, in order to be able to develop professionally, you have to be able to develop personally. What is your inner dialogue? What is your emotional management, your emotional intelligence? What is your motivation level, your energy level? What if YouTube was gone tomorrow? I'm just going to say this, right? I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to be real honest. What if YouTube was gone tomorrow? A lot of people's tires wouldn't get pumped in the morning. I just said something that probably went over a lot of people's heads. A lot of you guys wake up with flat tires. Waking up is a mistake for a lot of people. Ask me what I mean.
What do you mean, Shaan?
They don't wake up on purpose. They don't wake up on purpose. They don't have a purpose, a reason, a drive that makes them jump out of bed. They roll out of bed on the last, like, what do they call that thing? Snooze. Like the last time they could snooze, they fall out of bed. It's like the bed moves and they roll out, boom, and hit the floor. And then they roll into the shower and they roll onto the phone. And they roll over to the coffee shop. And the whole day is just like, oh, God, why am I here? Right? So my point is this. If you didn't have the motivational videos to pump up your tires in the morning, you'd all be running on flats. That's the key to personal development. When you get the personal development right, you're able to wake up on your own. You're able to move on your own, generate energy and speed. Where does your energy come from? A lot of people say, I'll get energy and I'll feel better when I make a lot of money. Sorry, it's not going to work. It's never going to work that way. I'll be nicer to people when I make more money. I'll be more professional when I make more money. I'll be able to stop and talk and spend time with this and begin to read and do all the things that I'd like to do, love to do. No, that's not true. That's not true. You got to be on purpose with the purpose, right? Before you make the money, because that's where the money comes from. The money is a byproduct of you being rich already. You get rich through personal and professional development. That's why your business works. That's why you're able to develop a business. That's why things work out. That's why your organizational development can take place. Your personnel development. Understand, how can you be a leader? Leadership development. How can you be a leader? How can you develop a leader? How can you develop an individual to become a leader if you still can't manage yourself? It's a rainy day and you feel bad. It's a sunny day and you feel great. You get a check and you feel phenomenal. A check bounces and you feel terrible. You're not prepared to be a leader. You can't lead anybody because you can't lead yourself. Listen, personal development turns into personnel development. I'll let that sit for a moment. Let's let that sit for a moment. Just think about that while I think about that.
You know what, Shaan?
Hold on. Just let that marinate for a minute. Please. Let that sink in to them.
Hold on. We're actually due for a break. So guys, we're gonna take a quick break.
Oh, okay.
Come back. So let that sit. When we come back, we're gonna
we about to go in. Come on, let's grow.
All right, guys, welcome back. This is Breakfast with the Brand. I am your host, Junior Frederick. I have with me Shaan Rais. Hold on, Shaan. Hold on. I know you're excited. Hold on. Somebody said the commercial music is fire. I think that was Jackie.
Thank you.
It is. Thank you very
Thank you, Mr. B.
much. Shout out to Mr. B. Now, guys, before we dive into this, I want you to put some flames in the chat if you've enjoyed the show so far. Right? Even if you've enjoyed the show so far, in fact, I want you to do two things. Wherever you're looking in from right now, I want you to hit the if you're on let's call it YouTube, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and also share. So comment, like, subscribe, share the live with somebody else who needs to hear this. If you're on Facebook, hit the share button. If you're on LinkedIn, shout out to LinkedIn, hit the share button as well.
Hmm. Yeah. Don't be selfish. Don't
That's
be selfish. Don't be
now I wanna ask them a question like, what was the main thing that you took away from what Shaan just said? Put that in the chat. So share this video first, and then I want you to put it in the chat. What is the main thing, or what is one thing that you took from Shaan so far this morning? Mr. B, let's bring up a few of these comments. Let's bring up a few of these comments. I see you have a lot of stuff about personal development. Okay. Personal development leads to personnel development. Wow. Yes, it does. Um, Personal development needs. Okay, so I think people are just quoting you right here. Let's see. Okay, you get rich through personal and professional development. Money is the byproduct. Yeah, exactly. So money is how you score. Personal development is the game, right? So watch the game.
Say that again. Say that again.
Money is how you score, but personal professional development is the game. So you wanna. Most people look. All right, Shaan. Most people are looking at the scoreboard. They're not looking at what's happening in the game.
Of course not.
So they're looking at how much money am I making?
That's it.
Something.
That's it. And that's why they're not winning, because they're not taking care of the people.
Exactly.
They're not taking care of the people because they're not taking care of themselves adequately.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's the number one thing. For example, when people start coaching, the first thing they ask is, when can I expect a return on investment? Like, it's at the speed of your implementation. So how fast can you do what I'm going to ask you to do? But it's not even about the return. It's about like, watch the game. Don't try to watch the money. Don't try to watch the score.
You're going to turn around and find out you're a millionaire or find out that you're broke.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what it is. You're gonna the number 100,000, 250,000, 500,000, and $1 million should pass you by. You shouldn't even notice it. You gun for the development. You gun for the growth. That should be your aim. How do I grow as a person to become the individual that can maintain and sustain $1 million? And I promise you this, and I tell my sons this, and I taught them this from the very beginning. So this is the same information that I give a lot of you guys is the same information that I give my firstborn. And you wonder if I care, right? I told my son, if you can't manage $5, you'll never be able to manage 50. If you can't manage 50, you'll never be able to manage 100. If you can't manage 100, you'll never be able to manage $500. If you can't manage $500, you'll never be able to manage $1,000. And it's the same thing with everyone else. If you can't say to yourself, wow, I got $500,000 in the bank, that's cool, and just go somewhere else with your mind, you can't handle it. You're going to break. Your personal development is going to break. Don't let your talent take you somewhere where your character can't sustain you.
Write that down. Shaan, say that again. Say that again.
Don't let your talent take you somewhere that your character can't sustain you.
Wow.
That's when your engine shut off. That's when your gas runs out at 36,000 feet. That's when you don't have any gas and it goes on E and your plane begins to plummet. I promise you it's a hard landing. Very hard landing that very few get up from.
Mm-hmm.
There's hardly any survivors from that altitude to that drop when it's a character defect. Check your character. Check your character, and your character relates to your personal development even before the professional development.
Whoa! Somebody tweet that. Somebody go to Twitter, tweet that. Hashtag breakfast with the brand.
Everybody, everybody wants to make money. Everybody wants to do good.
Uh-huh.
And I want the same thing. That's why what we've been doing inside of inside of this branding university that we've created, inside of all of the Like a Leader programs, we've created a curriculum that will give you all of the skills that you need in order to make an enormous, almost ludicrous, an unbelievable amount of money. Unbelievable. There's no cap to how much you can earn. Okay, I've got a better way to say that. The only thing that exists between how much you earn is how much you learn. You know how sometimes people got to come back and repeat the same thing again? You know, you showed up, but you didn't make the score, so you got to go again and go again and go again. I'm talking about personal development, guys. And one of the beautiful things about personal development is relationship development, right? Relationship development. You'll know that your personal development is getting better when your relationship gets better. That's a hard one, isn't it? That's a hard one. It's a hard one because it's like, hold on, I'm good. It's them. It's her. It's him. He don't understand. She don't understand. No.
And you're ruffling some feathers there.
How many hims and hers? Watch this. How many hims and hers are we going to go through until we realize that it's really us? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My bad. My bad. Let me go back to business. Your personal development is going to turn into personnel development. Your business development is going to turn into organizational development, and your leadership development is going to turn into brand development.
That was somebody put some flames in the chat. I don't even know what to say.
My bad, guys. My bad.
You might have to give away the other $100 today. Guys, put it in the chat. Like, what are you taking away from this? It's true though. It's tough love. Tough love.
Look, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example that everybody knows. Love them, hate them, leave them. Jay-Z. Love him, hate him, agree with him, don't disagree with, it's not my thing. I'm not here to say what about who. What I am going to say is that he was about to lose everything. What I am going to say is he was about to lose everything. Y'all remember the Lemonade album? Y'all remember Beyonce talking about him? Y'all remember the whole thing, like the whole fiasco? I'm going to talk the language of the people to the people so everybody can understand. I'm not telling on nobody. No, it's public domain. It's public domain. But this is the thing. When it was about to explode, when his lack of personal development from the projects showed up in his marriage, he said, hold up. He was a gangster the whole time until she was about to walk out. And he said, hold up. It ain't about money. Mind you, he's already a millionaire, already on a set to become a billionaire. Money don't make a difference. Money is not the problem. You're the problem. He said, hold up. Do I really want to mess this up? Blue was already born. He said, do I really want to recreate my father's reality? Do I really not want to develop personally Professionally, he owned record labels. He was Def Jam's president. Professionally, he was phenomenal. Business-wise, he was phenomenal, legendary, even legacy already cemented. Brand already cemented. He had to go all the way back and say, hold on. I've got a character defect. And he went to counseling. And he humbled himself. And he learned something about himself. And what he learned about himself allowed him to recreate the narrative and the history of generational separation between man and woman. That's community development, guys. It doesn't get any bigger than that. So what I'm saying to you is this. I'm trying to use an icon for you to get an idea. Trying to use an icon's example for you to get an idea. Your brand, business, economic development, all of that stuff that you're looking for. The success, the keys to it is found in your personal development, is found in you. And you're trying to fast forward what you need, what you're going to have to go back to anyway. You're going to have to fast forward what you need to go back to anyway. So just get it done the first time, get it done right. Take your time to get it right, because if you don't get it right, it'll be the thing that undoes your success. When you become who you think you need to be, or when you make enough money to have what you finally think you're looking for. If you don't get the foundation right, it's all going to fall. It's all going to fall. It's only a matter of time. And then you're going to have to go back and try to get it right anyway. So why not get it right the first time? Again, personal development leads to personnel development. Professional development will lead to business development. Leadership development is what leads to brand development. And it's ongoing. It's ongoing. If you can't develop yourself, you'll never have a team, because you can't develop personnel without developing the personal.
Shaan, repeat that, please.
You'll never have a team. Okay, so let me say this. You can't do success alone. You can't do business alone. You can't do building your brand alone. You need people. You will understand. If you don't understand that, you really need to dig into personal development. If you think it's all a one-man show and you can do it by yourself, look at Junior, look at Mr. B, look at the people I keep around me. And there's multiple teams, guys. There's multiple layers. You will not be able to do it by yourself. Get out of your ego. If you can't develop people, if you can't develop personnel, if you can't develop talent, there's a thing called talent development. If you can't develop talent, you'll never be successful. It takes a team to be successful, and there's no such thing as team development without your own personal development. A team is personnel. You can't develop personnel because you haven't developed your personal situation. So people aren't magnetically attracted to you. They're kind of repelled by you and the thought of doing business with you. And I've been there. Trust me, I've been there. Harlem came with me until I said, nope, sorry. There's a place for Harlem, and it's not in the front. It's in the back. It's a memory. It's a fuel, not a front line. I got to shift this if I want to help people. But I can't help people get it right unless I get it right myself first. It's an inside job, guys. Y'all seen The Inside Man with Denzel Washington? It's an internal job. It's an inside job.
Wow. You know, they say, I heard somebody say once that a word to the wise is sufficient.
See, I don't know, man. Take me to a break. I say something for a half hour. This guy says one sentence and sums it all up. I got to learn that, man. I got to learn that.
I don't know.
Good word.
Pretty simple, you know. A word to the wise is sufficient. Guys, put it in the chat if you felt like that was super powerful, what Shaan just said. Put it in the chat. Like, I don't even know what to say. I think we might go to an early break.
What about the example?
Uh-huh.
What about the example that I used? What about the example that I used? I promise you this. Everybody's been there. That I talked about with Jay, everybody's been there. The question is, how did it turn out for you? When you went to that spot, like that place, were you able to dramatically develop yourself at that moment, or did you crash and burn? Maybe some of you are there now. Maybe some of you are there now. Listen, transformation requires heat, friction. Transformation, y'all putting flames in the chat, right? Transformation requires heat and friction. I put in this book, The 7 Prerequisites to Success, how one transforms themselves and how coal is turned into diamonds, and how at the bottom of the ocean, the pressure creates pearls. It's a tremendous amount of pressure. It's a tremendous amount of heat. It's a tremendous amount of friction. When you get angry, when you get frustrated, when you get hot, there's an opportunity for transformation. There's an opportunity for transformation there. There's a choice right there. There's like a trim tab. There's a choice. When you get hot, there's a choice. Do I flip or do I flip it? Do I flip out or do I flip in? Because you should not allow anyone else to control your emotions or your reactions. You should respond instead of react. So when people do something that makes you hot, recognize the opportunity. Say, ooh, I could flip or I could flip it and become a better person. That's personal development.
Wow. Guys, that was very, very, very powerful. So my question to you is, what are you doing to develop yourself personally? Put it in the chat. What are you doing right now to develop yourself? What are you doing right now to develop yourself? So let's bring up what Tracy just said, Mr. B. No, she said something. I've been consistently on a road to, oh, there we go. I've been consistently on a road to development myself. Okay. So Tracy, put it in the chat. What are some of the things that you're doing to develop yourself? Let's go to Jasmine's comment. So I've transformed so many times, uncomfortable but beautiful. That's nice. Just like a butterfly, right? It's like a butterfly, uncomfortable, but of course you grow.
This is what we've done in the leadership leverage. Speaking like a leader to further develop. Exactly. This is what we've done. This is what we've created inside of the leadership leverage. So we do business development, we do brand development, but more importantly, we do skill stacking, from branding to coaching to consulting to closing to speaking now. But more importantly, we do personal development so we can get to leadership development. I am not that comfortable coach. I've been called Coach Debo. I am not that comfortable coach who's going to coddle you, hold your hand, and make you feel comfortable. I'm going to walk you to the deep end, and you're going to learn how to swim by default.
Wow. On that note, let's go to a break. right, guys, welcome back. This is Breakfast with the Brand. I need everybody to do a favor for me. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button, also hit the share button. Don't be selfish. Let's share this experience with somebody else. I have with me Mr. Shaan Rais. Shaan, what's up? What's up? What's up? We have so many comments coming in.
Good.
I wanna bring up a few of these comments. Let's take Miss Ty Jackson. Let's see what she had to say. So I take full ownership for myself and my experiences. Very
Good.
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 Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, I get to know myself, my passions, and my purpose, and refine my goals to match them while incorporating my imagination. Hmm. It's very interesting.
Yeah, yeah. That's philosophical. Let's go.
Let's take Kimberly. Let's go to Kimberly's comment, Mr. B. All right, so she said to develop myself, I've used mindfulness, meditation, and reflection.
Okay.
That's part. Sean, let me ask you a question on that note, just based on what Kimberly said. Do you think anything you do would be possible if you didn't use mindfulness, meditation, and reflection?
Oh, of course not. Mindfulness is raising self-awareness. Self-awareness is the key component to leadership development. It would be impossible to do the things that we've been able to do, especially in the time that we've been able to do them, if we did not utilize mindfulness. Meditation creates calm. Calm and a sense of calm and peace allows for mindfulness to take place. Like it gets you past those hot moments. So what happens is, as you become a meditator, as you meditate, you begin to take that meditation with you. That's why most practices say to do it early in the morning and then late at night, or before you go to rest. So when you wake up and then before you go to rest, is to recreate that stillness that you feel when you're at rest, right? So what happens is, the more you become a practitioner consistently, you're able to take that throughout your day. So when opportunities arise, and they will, when life shows up, and it will, when things take place and people let you down, which they will, when situations frustrate you, and they will, you're able to reclaim that sense of peace and inner calm, right? I promise you, it's defensive driving. It's not protecting yourself, it's actually protecting other people, right? And then the reflection piece, if you don't reflect, you don't appreciate. If you don't reflect, you don't appreciate. And if you don't appreciate, then you have a depreciative. Appreciative and depreciative. When you buy a car depreciates. When you get married, your marriage is supposed to appreciate. It's supposed to bring you more value. That's like real estate, guns and butter, right? You remember, I think it was Baby Boy, guns and butter. The guns and investments and in business are the real estate, the stocks and bonds, and the thing like art, the things that appreciate. But the cars, the clothes, the money, phones, all that stuff depreciates, right? So when you are reflective, you allow yourself time to develop an appreciative mindset, right? As opposed to a depreciative mindset. So you actually grow in value individually, and then you can grow in value organizationally in your business and in your brand. It's having an appreciative mindset as opposed to a depreciative mindset. As a matter of fact, there's a thing called appreciative inquiry that I was actually introduced to in my undergrad. So maybe my fourth year of college, maybe my third year of college, I was introduced to the concept of appreciative inquiry. And appreciative inquiry allowed me to look at some of the former situations that I went through growing up as a youth, situations that formed my outlook on life at the time. I looked at them with the depreciative mindset. Why did it have to be this way? This is wrong. This shouldn't have happened. I should have had more opportunities. I should have been born into a situation where there were more opportunities and more situations. I remember them taking away the after school programs and thrusting the kids out into the street. It was very, very interesting and very peculiar. However, no matter how interesting and no matter how peculiar the situation that you're born into or that you live through, your inquiry determines your perspective. And whether you have a depreciative or an appreciative inquiry will determine whether you are optimistic or pessimistic, whether you view the cup as half empty or half full, right? And if it's overflowing with negativity, then there's no room for growth. However, if you see it as there's room for growth, that's when the learning comes. So if you have a depreciative inquiry or a depreciative perspective, nothing I try to tell you will help you. Nothing I try to tell you. You can come into the leverage, you can invest whatever you want, you can stay here, you can be right next to me. It won't help you because you have the wrong mindset. However, if you have an appreciative mindset, then your soil is fertile. And you can take one distinction, one statement that I said, and go make 10K, 20K, 50K, 100K. That's the importance of mindfulness, meditation, and reflection, Junior.
Super powerful. I mean, needless to say, very, very powerful. I know I feel definitely the same way. I could hear something. I don't know, like it's just like you. I could hear one thing. That's all I need to hear. I don't need to hear anything too long, but I could take one thing and I know exactly what to do with it. I know exactly how to make it into 100 things. So I get exactly what it is that you're saying. I get exactly what you're saying. I have one more question for the people here, because people. Let me ask the question to the audience. Like, how many of you feel like you would love to move fast, right? Like you would love to move quickly, like you want to move fast at a faster pace. So when people look at what we've done, people always tell me, you know, you guys have grown so fast and this and that, and how is that possible? Like it's so funny. Somebody they might leave here. I remember one case, like somebody left, maybe let's say they left, they came back 1 month later, and everything had changed. It's like, what's going on? Like guys, if you miss like 2 coaching calls, like when you come back, you don't know what's going on because it's moving so fast. So I want to ask the question to the audience, and then I want to ask you a question. So let me see. Put a number 1 in the chat if you love to move faster with your personal and your professional development. If you'd like to increase the pace of your personal and professional development and do so with less resistance, put a number 1 in the chat. All right. I see the one starting to come in. So, Shaan, I want to ask you the question now. What should the mindset be for somebody who is looking to achieve what many people call quantum growth? Quantum leaps, they're looking to go from crickets to digits. Crickets to digits is a quantum leap. It is, there's a term for it. It's called geometric growth. It's called geometric growth. So, what is the mindset for quantum leaps, geometric growth, compressing decades into days? You know, like we do, we teach people how to turn their yearly income monthly income weekly, and of course, your weekly income daily. So, what is the mindset that somebody should have?
Well, one, I a moment ago with the appreciative inquiry. Really look into that, guys. Really look into that. Google that appreciative inquiry. Another one is being fertile, having an open mindset to, now I won't say to accept the information that's being given. So a lot of times people, when they ask the question, but they don't like the answer. They ask the question, but they don't like the answer. So one thing I'm going to say to you, if you're listening right now, And especially everyone that put the 1 in the chat and wants to move fast, sometimes you have to go slow to move fast. Sometimes you have to go slow to move fast. And I know that sounds like the last thing you really want to hear, because when someone told me that, I wasn't at the place where I felt like I needed to hear that, but it was the most important thing that I could hear at the time. The reason why I didn't want to hear that was because my money was low. I was looking at the effect. I wasn't looking at the cause. I was saying, I want this external result. I want this external result. I wasn't looking at the internal cause. So the internal cause is you. The internal cause is your personal development again, right? You want to go fast outside, but what you need to do is go slow so that you can get to know yourself to a higher degree. Because when you know yourself, man, when you're able to leverage what we teach with the leadership chess test, when you're able to really get in alignment with who you are, it takes time because you've been pulled on by so many external needs and necessities and distractions that you haven't really had time to get to know yourself to where you can become in alignment with yourself and only write this down, only operate in your zone of genius. You've been operating out of necessity in zones where you were effective. But effectiveness and genius are two different things. And nobody watching me is broke. Broke people don't appreciate this kind of knowledge and information that we provide. I'm not a dancing monkey. We don't do entertainment. We talk deep and we talk for a long time. So if you're here, you've got some amount of money and some amount of success, some amount of culpability, results. You've got all of those things: education, experience, and expertise. But this is the thing, that what you have right now is the result of effectiveness. You're very effective. But what if you only operated in your zone of genius? What if you only did things that were the ultimate pure expression of you? That's where you put a 0 behind your numbers. That's where your yearly income becomes monthly, until it becomes weekly, until it becomes daily. Guys, I could show you so watch this. I could show you how to make your yearly income in a day. And that's a fact. But it wouldn't make as a matter of fact, that's what I teach. But very few people really get it and take the time to get it because they're looking on the outside. The key and the core to the component is this: it's not what you get, it's who you become. It's not what you get, it's who you become. I could show you how to make 3 years in a day, one phone call. But you got to be the right person to say the right thing. You got to listen to hear the right time to say it. You got to have a giving nature, so you give exactly, you are in attunement and locked into what you're hearing so you can respond effectively. And this is a guarantee. I've done it multiple times and I'm not stopping anytime soon. So you have the opportunity. The only question is, will you receive it in the right spirit? Will you receive it in the right spirit? So when I come across mentors, coaches, consultants, people who can help me go to the next level, I come like a child with an empty bowl. You talking about humble? I come like a child with an empty bowl. Hungry, and thirsty. And all I want, not thirsty to the degree where I'm going to do something stupid, right? So not thirsty, but more hungry. I stay in a state of perpetual hunger. I stay in a state of perpetual hunger. That's one of the keys. I stay in a state of so passionate about my purpose that nothing can distract me. But I literally line up. I don't cut the line. I literally line up like a child waiting for his cereal in the morning. I say please, and I say thank you. And what I get, I consume patiently, and I don't come right back. I trust that there will be food there later. I don't come right back. I want to go be effective with the food that I've gotten first before I try to put a million things on my plate. Some people just want to eat, and then sleep, and then wake up and eat. A lot of people are professional development hoarders. So they've turned learning into burning. They burn time just learning. They're always reading something. They're always busy. It amazes me when I hear or speak to people who are so busy. I have a sales team. So my sales force speak to people all day, every day to help them go from an existence that is not where they want to be to an existence that they want to have. And the most interesting thing when they speak is they say, I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm so occupied. I'm so busy. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm so busy. I don't have enough time. And I look at my watch and I'm like, wow, does your watch go to 13 or 14 or 15? Because mine only goes to 12. And if I'm able to do everything that I'm able to do within the same 24 hours that you have, and I'm constantly learning, I'm constantly looking, I'm constantly investing, I'm constantly sitting, and I'm constantly listening, but you don't have time to listen and learn, you'll never earn. You'll never get what you're looking for. Sometimes you want to humble yourself. You want to approach the right dispensary. You want to approach the right cook. You want to approach the right person preparing the food. You want to take your portion and consume it slowly. Chew your food. My grandfather used to say, chew your food 100 times. Chew your food. When you get a course, go through it. If I say you should read a book, read it slowly. And let me say this too, you'll never understand it the first time. When you read a book, you'll never understand it the first time. So don't read it once and think you got it, because you don't. You were just introduced. That was your first introduction to information, which is a new idea. You need to go over it again and then go over it again. The third time, it might click. The third time, it might click. The second time, you become more familiar with the language, more familiar with the concept. The third time, it might click. Most people read things once, and then they try to grab another book, and then grab another book, and then grab another book like they're a master, and they've got all this information. Well, if you've got all this information, why don't you have the results that you're looking for? That's because you've become, what do they call it? An unruly, a steward. Some people, so they say to be a steward of your money and be a steward of your time, but many people have become unruly stewards. They demand more and more and more and more and more and more because they think that more is going to get them the result that they're looking for. Many times, less is more. But you have to consume the information that you have in the right manner, in the right mindset, with patience and discipline. Many people don't really know how to learn, and that's why they're unable to implement, because they don't know how to consume information. YouTube and, dare I say, I love Facebook, but Facebook and YouTube and Google have turned people into microwave managers of content, microwave consumers. They want everything immediately, and they're just like, boom, 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 boom. If I can Google it and see it, then boom, maybe this will help me. Boom, maybe that'll help me. Boom, 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 boom. And you're taking so many hits that you hit. It's like a dopamine hit. If you ever seen mice in the experiment, they keep going to the dispensary to get the hit. The hit's not the solution. The hit's not the solution, guys. The next course is not the solution. The next book is not the solution. What you do with the information that you have is the solution. The implementation, the execution is the solution. Many of you don't need more. You really need less. And you need to implement what you have, which means you need to consume it patiently. And what will happen if you do this the right way? What I promise you, because I've done it, what happens when you do this the right way is you don't notice that you've gone past 10K, you've gone past 100K, you've gone past 500K. What happens when you do this is that you start having the right things to say. What happens is you start knowing what to say intuitively because you've slowed down and you can actually breathe from your diaphragm and not from your chest and your throat. You can actually breathe. You can actually be patient, be comfortable, and be persistent and consistent. Consistency beats intensity all of the time. Everybody wants to bust out the box. Everybody wants to be like Tony Tiger and rip the box apart and get to the prize quick, right? Get to the prize quick. Slow down. Slow down. Take it easy. You're in the right place at the right time. If you're here, you're with the right people. If you're listening to this, you've got the right person in front of you to show you how this is done. Be patient, be humble, and let's grow.
All right, so phenomenal. We're actually going to take one more break. And when we come back, we have a special announcement.
Uh-oh. I don't even know what this announcement is. Let's grow.
Hey guys, listen, right before you stop, right before you quit, before you throw in the towel, I want you to hear this one more time. Listen, you are who you need to be already. I'm going to tell you what they've been hiding from you. You are already who you need to be. Content you don't need any more of. You've been had enough content. What you need is context. What you need is system. You have the skill. What you need is system. You have the presence. You need the procedure. You have the promise. You need the process. I want to show you the process and the system to go from where you are to where you need to be and how to get clients finally on autopilot. Let's grow.
All right, guys, welcome back. This is Breakfast with the Brand. If you've enjoyed the show so far, I want you to put some flames in the chat. All right, so Shaan, it's been an amazing show, but I must say I think we have another amazing show coming up next week. And since we're here, I wanted to take some time to allow you to speak to that. I believe we have a special guest coming.
Oh, yes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, right? Because this is the second Saturday, right? But it's the first week that we've done Speaking Like a Leader. So it's the second Saturday officially, but it's the first week that we've done Speaking Like a Leader. So I wanted to speak to that, and I wanted to speak to the importance of professional development, personal development, and all of the things that we've been giving you thus far. However, next week, I have a close and dear associate of mine, right? His name is Leonard Cello Webb. Leonard Webb. Now, me and Webb have known each other for more than 2 years. We came up in the same kind of personal and professional development grooming setting, right? And the beautiful thing about Leonard Cello is that he has pursued his passion and purpose 1,000%. 1,000%. So he speaks to, and watch this, I'm going to show you how speaking works. So when you speak consistently instead of intensely, or you can combine them both, you will build a platform for other people. You'll build a platform. So that's what we've been able to do through speaking. We've built a platform. And this is it. And we're going to bring in another phenomenal speaker and trainer so that he can utilize the platform that we have to broaden his scope and his reach. Okay, this is how you'll be able to give back. If you do it the right way, if you slow down to go fast, you'll be able to do it the right way. So Leonard he's a speaker, he's a trainer. His main thing is stopping the school to prison pipeline. That's his main thing. Inner city work, almost social work, social justice work, and putting an end to the school to prison pipeline that exists within specific demographics, within specific tax brackets, and within specific geographic locations. I don't want to go too deep into it, but this is what I do for. I do what I do for so that other people can exist in their zone of genius. I want to provide the platform for other people to get their message out when I recognize that they're sticking to their guns, they're not playing games, and they're serious about what they do. When I see that, I allow for things to take place. So this is someone that I've noticed, someone that I've known, someone that I've seen consistent, and someone that I think deserves the ability to speak his truth from this platform. So you're not going to want to miss it. That I guarantee.
That's right. That's right, guys. So just in case, let me just repeat it. That's going to be next Saturday. So next Saturday, right here, Breakfast with the Brand, we're going to have Mr. Webb with us. He'll be joining us. It's going to be an absolutely amazing show. Like, all of our guests have been amazing, right? Every single one of them. Every single one of them have been absolutely amazing. So you already know. I don't think we have to, it's not like they already know. Like if you've been here for any amount of time, anytime we bring somebody here, it's straight fire.
Yeah.
It's straight fire. So
get ready for it.
You don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss this. So that's Breakfast with the Brand next Saturday. So check this out. When you do come next Saturday, what I would love for you to do is to invite one more person to watch this with you. Invite one more person. Just one or two or three
to
watch this with
That's
you.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not about us. It's not about us. It's not about you. It's about the people that we can reach.
Yes, sir. On that note, we're about to end off. I want to ask the audience a question. If you've enjoyed this episode of Breakfast with the Brand, I want you to put some flames in the chat one more time before we sign off. If you enjoyed so far, let's see. Mr. B, let's show the people some love. Let's bring up the flames that we have coming in. All right, so quick shout out to Jackie. So Jackie won. So check this out. Jackie won the $100 giveaway.
The $100 question. She won the $100 question, the first of its kind.
That's right. And you could be next. You could be next. So don't miss it. Shaan, any closing comments?
Let's grow. Let's grow. Personal development. Let's grow.